Welcome back to Katie's K-Fabe. The universe that encompasses the WWE is filled with infatuating storylines, golden tales of David versus Goliath, and lately, confusing as all hell storylines leading right up to the grandest stage of them all. The road to WrestleMania is a time where WWE fans rejoice in anticipating the biggest day or days of wrestling. And at this point, they usually have a pretty basic idea of what to expect or even what not to expect. But this time around feels different, and I think I may know why. Let's jump into it. So let's begin with where all roads to WrestleMania start: the Royal Rumble. This year's Rumble was amazing from top to bottom. Unexpected surprises, great matches, and a finish that, while although somewhat controversial, still left the possibilities wide open for what may happen at WrestleMania. Both of our Royal Rumble winners have declared their opponents afterwards, with Jey Uso targeting Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship and Charlotte Flair putting her sights on Tiffany Stratton for the WWE Women's title.
The Queen chooses you.
Okay, so we have our championship main event matches set for WrestleMania on either night. Great. What starts to become less great and a bit more complicated is that this leaves Cody Rhodes and Rhea Ripley without their opponents for WrestleMania. Well, I mean, that's what we have the Elimination Chamber for, right? Here's where things start to get a little bit convoluted. It starts with the qualifying matches for the Elimination Chamber. The questionable decision to have Io Sky lose her Elimination Chamber qualifying match against Liv Morgan due to a disqualification caused by Rhea Ripley is already something that I'm not a fan of.
As a result of a disqualification.
Additionally, Rhea Ripley giving Io Sky a second chance at the Women's World Championship match on a Monday Night Raw after Elimination Chamber just kind of adds the insult to injury of what this storyline is really becoming. So we're going to have Io Sky, one of the best women leading the division of the main roster, have a WrestleMania match, not at WrestleMania. Make it make sense? I mean, at this point, you might be thinking that, okay, Io Sky could get disqualified during this match, and this sets her up for some type of triple threat match between her, whoever wins Elimination Chamber, and Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. Or the less likely outcome where Io Sky actually wins this match against Rhea Ripley, and whoever wins Elimination Chamber gets to face the Genius of the Sky. Either way, it just seems like WWE has backed themselves into a corner with this angle and direction, and has really just made things a lot more complicated than they really should have been. The men's qualifying matches are no exception to this complex, convoluted, confounded, tangled web of storyline. We have superstars like John Cena who have self-declared themselves into the Elimination Chamber by using their GOAT status. I'm not even mad at that. And CM Punk, who wants to check off this I main evented WrestleMania box off of his list. And then there's Drew McIntyre, who desperately needs a push in 2025. Most, if not all of these guys have a personal stake with Cody for the WWE Undisputed Championship, or at the very least would just put on a banger at WrestleMania anyways. But now here's where things start to get messy. That's right, the final boss. Just when I thought things couldn't get any more complicated, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has to waltz right over to SmackDown, take his cryptic little fingers, and start moving things around how he sees fit in order to produce this weird Cody segment. Well, to be honest, I'm not entirely sure what this was. I don't know, something about coming for Cody's soul, or...
I want your soul.
I don't know, man. Sounds spooky. So is The Rock still coming for Cody? Does The Rock still want this legendary head of the table versus final boss match at WrestleMania? It just really feels like things are getting lost in the sauce. In the end, things are really going to depend on who comes out of the Elimination Chamber as the victor and goes after Cody. Is CM Punk going to lose and cash in his favor with the Wise Man in order to get his WrestleMania match with Cody?
And he owes you a favor. Are you sure you don't want to tell us anything?
We'll have to wait and see. He's kind of a powerful guy.
Essentially, right now, there are just too many questions going into the chamber, and it seems that even afterwards, once we get our winner, it still is going to be a little rocky. Pun intended. Driving down this rocky road is going to be interesting. Maybe this all plays out, maybe it doesn't. But comparing last year's build-up to WrestleMania to this one, it's almost night and day. For WrestleMania 40, stories were established. Characters already had their mark on the chessboard. Fans had an idea of what to and maybe what not to expect, and overall it just felt a little less all over the place. And naturally, as a true WWE fan would, I'm going to make some early predictions. I really don't like the idea of Io Sky having this golden match against Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship on a Monday Night Raw and not at a WrestleMania. But like some are saying, this can probably still happen. So I do think Bianca Belair is going to be the winner for the Women's Elimination Chamber match and is going to obviously set her sights on Rhea Ripley for her championship. So going back to the DQ scenario that could play itself out, might lead to a triple threat match between Rhea, the winner of the Elimination Chamber, and Io Sky at WrestleMania. Essentially, Io gets costed in her championship match, whoever. I mean, for Io, this could be a whole, hey, fool me one time, fool me twice, fool me 3 times, okay, fuck you. I mean, this could lead to one of the biggest women's wrestling matches of WWE history with WWE's Big Three.
I prayed for this and it happened.
Over on the men's side, it's a bit tougher to say. This could be something similar where we see John Cena win the Elimination Chamber, CM Punk saying, that cashes in his favor to the wise man and ultimately reciprocates that same type of triple threat scenario. Things just seem too uncertain to say for sure. So aside from the Elimination Chamber matches themselves, we do have 2 other confirmed matches and then another Rock and Cody segment. Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn is going to be an absolute banger. Sorry. It's going to be an absolute banger in Toronto, and I pretty much see Kevin Owens taking the dub over on this one against Sami Zayn. Tiffy Time teaming up with Trish Stratus, say that 10 times fast, versus Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. It should be decent enough, but I feel that Team Blonde is just going to win this flat out.
What, like it's hard?
I'm just really over this Nia Jax constantly needing to go after Tiffany Stratton for the belt storyline going here. Nia, you lost the belt. Tiffany cashed it in fair and square. It's part of the rules.
It's Tiffany time! Grab the champion!
So I know they're expected to have one more championship match on a SmackDown, and hopefully this just puts it at an end, because I don't know how much longer I can take seeing Tiffany Stratton cut a promo for Nia Jax's music to just hit.
I'm over it!
Yeah, and as of now, I have no idea what to expect from this Rock and Cody segment. I know Cody is expected to give his response to The Rock in terms of being this corporate soulless puppet to The Rock. I don't know. You know, could this be the heel turn that many fans are speculating will happen to Cody? Homelander Cody inevitable? Or is the American Nightmare going to break poor Rocky's heart and declare himself as the true people's champ? I don't know. We're really just going to have to wait and see on this one. So this wraps up what I really can break down as the current state of the road to WrestleMania. There's a lot of things up in the air, but WWE still has time to ultimately set things in motion. We're in that weird gray area where WrestleMania isn't too terribly far away, but it's also closer than we think, right around the corner. I mean, once Elimination Chamber happens, we really are going to have more of a clear idea of what certain pieces are going to be put where. Regardless of what does happen, Triple H's commitment to making each year's WrestleMania better than the last is going to be the motive to make this WrestleMania in Las Vegas an absolute banger. Again, sorry. So I pass the question on to you. What do you think is going to happen at this year's Elimination Chamber in WrestleMania? Do you love what's happening? Do you hate what's happening? Are you pissed that Io Sky isn't going to be in the Elimination Chamber as much as I am? I'd love to know your thoughts on this. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please hit the thumbs up button. Please hit subscribe just to hear more from your boy ramble on about nonsense. Appreciate you guys watching. I will see you all in the next one. I will be back with some more K-Fabe. So until then, bye-bye.